Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of KigerCraft. I'm KigerCraft, and, well, it's just me today. Aww. Now, Garen, upgraded his client, so I didn't have time to upgrade the server, but now that some of the other servers we play on have upgraded, I will be doing that. So it's just me today, so yay! But today, we are going to be working on the platform up here. So I did want to change this right here, so this is where we're going to start. So I want, pretty much what I want to do is I want to have, I want to expand this out. I feel like it's too small, and then I want to have a really nice stairway that leads up here. And I don't know how I'm going to build it, but I'm going to build it. So we're just gonna sort of experiment around today, and we're just gonna find out what works, what doesn't, and what looks good. So, it's been a while since we've put out a video. These last like week or so has been super busy, like with us being sick and all sorts of stuff. So it's been pretty crazy around here, but I wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, because I know it's a little bit late, but I wanted to do it anyways, just make sure you guys thought make sure you guys know I cared. We did ours on Sunday, so ours was a little bit late, like other people's. Or unlike most people's. So, but we had a good time. Saw family. Didn't get to see some people that we liked, friends and whatnot. But it's all right. Happens. And I think I'm gonna spread this out like this. Okay, looks good. But yeah. So I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We did. So that's good. And I've also got some interesting console-y related things to talk about today. First is, well, it's not really consoles, but it's about a console maker. Sony got their credit downgraded. Ooh. Yeah, it's sort of bad news for Sony. And because it got downgraded to junk status. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow for them and their investors. So what you might be asking yourself what this has to do with consoles. And actually it kind of has a lot to do with consoles because wait, what the heck is going on here? This is jungle, birch. Oh, this should be jungle. You might be asking yourself what it has to do with, consoles. Well, Sony uses money that they use to develop, their stuff from bonds, which bonds are pretty much loans to a company. Sort of like a business type line of credit. And I'm worried that it might harm Sony's research and development because it takes money to, to develop things. And Sony's performance isn't exactly stellar. Well, hey there. Oops, that's not what I wanted. No! The heck was that? Anyways, Sony's performance isn't exactly stellar, i.e. they don't make a lot of money. So it's when you don't make money, you need to borrow money in order to get things done. And that's on the promise that you're going to be able to repay that back. But pretty much what this investment rating company is saying is that if you loan to Sony, don't ever expect to get your money back. Get out of here. Need to light this place up better. I don't have any torches on me though. Well, at least none that I can see. So it's a little bit of a problem because that makes it really hard for them to, get money to fund new things like, research and development. So it is a little bit of a troubling assessment because it's not like they're not going to be able to get money. They will probably find somebody who's willing to give them money. But at what price is the question. Usually when you have poor credit, it's not that you can't get credit, it's just that you could, it's just really expensive. So, which means that increases costs for Sony. So it could mean that they'll need to increase prices and stuff like that to offset the higher debts, and then you sort of get into this debt spiral where you're having to borrow to maintain your debt payments, and that's never a good situation. So hopefully this is sort of just a temporary thing, and they'll be able to find their way out of this, and they'll get upgraded, and everything will be good for them, and they'll be able to put out a strong product, and they won't have to worry about the things like competing with the Xbox too much. Hopefully they'll change their strategies for the PlayStation 4 and learn from last time, which is actually something that me and Garen were talking about. I think it was yesterday, about whether or not Sony actually learned their lesson from the PlayStation 3, and if the PlayStation 4 will be any different. So here's hoping. I really do hope they can turn it around. But, only time will tell. Let's see here. What else do I got? Oh yeah. So you guys remember that Wii U thing? And how I sort of expressed a little bit of doubt, I guess you could say, in it. Well, the first thing that sort of happened on the negative side of the Wii, because everybody's been talking about, the Wii U, how great it is, blah, 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 and all that stuff. Some software developer from, I think it was the studio that does the Metro game series, said that they won't be porting their new Metro title to the Wii because it's too slow. Now this is sort of what I was worried about with the Wii U, in that it didn't seem like it had impressive. Let's see, how am I going to do this? Let's see here. I think. Let's go ahead and let's just go here. Oops, these are half slabs. Can't do that. With its processor being reportedly a little bit on the lower end of things, I was a little bit concerned about developers wanting to develop actual games for the Wii U, and the first one has already aired their complaints about the Wii U's lack of processing power, and I don't think it's going to turn into a thing per se, but it is a little bit alarming that somebody would say that the Wii U is really, really underpowered. So it's a little bit concerning to hear that, and I hope that this guy was just being like an elitist or something like that, and that people can actually come through with good applications for the Wii U, because the last thing you want is it to be sort of a forgotten system. It's neglected because it doesn't have the power and all sorts of stuff like that. So hopefully this isn't a future indicator, because me expressing my concerns, it's more along the lines of I really hope I'm wrong that the Wii U will be a strong contender in the future, and we'll see a lot of good stuff for it, and that people will actually make games and things like that. So that's my hope. Oh, you stupid rain. Let's go ahead and turn this off. There we go. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. And I guess we'll have to see. I haven't actually tried a Wii U yet. Some people have been saying that it actually looks really good. It looks better than the same games on the Xbox or the PlayStation 3 or something like that. So I haven't actually seen it myself. So I will just have to wait and see for myself on whether or not it actually looks better. But if it did, that would be a big boon for Nintendo sales, because they are targeting a more, how shall I say this, a more picky crowd with the Wii U. They're more hardcore. They're more worried about, or they're not more worried, but they are concerned about how it looks. Does it graphically compare to similar consoles and things like that. So this whole not having titles on it may turn a lot of people off, but I guess we'll just have to see. All right, so this one's jungle, but there's sort of a little bit of weird things going on with Nintendo right now, because I was looking around earlier, and it turns out that they're actually coming out with a Wii Mini, which is totally caught me by surprise. I was like, what? Wii Mini? I've never even heard of such a thing. Well, apparently a lot of other people haven't either. It's actually, Nintendo confirmed it. It was leaked on a Canadian website, and Nintendo eventually, confirmed the rumor, saying that yes, the Wii Mini is coming on December 7th to stores in Canada, just Canada, which is adding more to the weirdness. But okay, I'll buy it a little bit, I guess. But looks kind of cool. It's all red. And it comes with a nunchuck and a regular controller, and it's really tiny. It does have a couple drawbacks, though, which I found to be really weird, because you would think that, with the PlayStation, what did they call the PSONE, the PS1, that Sony released at the end of the PlayStation 2, and also the Slim PlayStation 3 and stuff. They're pretty much full versions, just in a smaller body style. The Wii Mini is not. The Wii Mini is actually a stripped down version. It only does Wii games. It does not do GameCube games. And also it doesn't have Wi-Fi or any networking connectivity, which I thought was a little weird. Especially since there are quite a few games that use the online feature. But I digress. I guess in order to save money, they sort of looked at okay, what do we have? What could we get rid of? And that's what they went with. So I guess if they were looking to capture the more casual market, which is pretty much the essence of the Wii. The Wii is not for, gamers. It's for, people who are not used to gaming. Maybe their first introduction was, to the Wii. That was the first game they ever owned. They're not hardcore gamers like us. They don't have you know, they never had a NES or anything like that, or, you know, a Sega, or, you know, never played a video game before. Let's see here. Gotta build a platform up here. What do I want to do this in? Let's do it in birch. I think that'll look good. You know, so the Wii maybe was their first introduction to gaming. So I guess that's sort of like what this is for. It's something that you can give to your kids. It's at a really great price. It's only $99, so you know it's cheap, and something that you can give your kids and not have to worry about them breaking, I guess. So if that was their intention, then I guess they certainly met it quite well. So whether or not that will actually come here is, you know, remains to be seen. I don't know why something like that would be just a Canada exclusive, but I guess maybe they're just trying to, you know, save the suspense because the surprise was kind of blown. So I guess we'll just have to see about that. But if you're into the Wii, you know, maybe yours broke like mine. Be a good replacement so you can play some of those games again. $99, not bad. It's sort of like the GameCube. When the GameCube went end of life, quote unquote. That's what they call it in retail when something goes, you know, discontinued. Call it end of life. You know, it too was $99. You know, so come on, there we go. So maybe that's what's going on here with the new Wii U thing. They're like, okay, now people can get the old stuff for, you know, cheaper. Just a thought. All right. And then what was that other thing we got here? We got that. Oh yes. Ooh, I'm so excited about this. For those of you who have been using email for you know, as long as you can pretty much remember there being email, there have been times when you've probably wanted to send something to someone, and if it's pretty much bigger than a small picture, you can't do it. I mean, I remember when, you know, email attachments were limited to like 2 megabytes or so. But now it's a little bit higher. It's still not, you know, very good. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to cut this tree down. Yeah, this is gonna be in the way, so it's gotta come down. Sorry, tree. You know, it's 25 megabytes on Gmail, which is not really much. I mean, if you want to send something more than a picture, you can pretty much forget it. But they've just rolled out, Google has just rolled out a new feature that'll allow you to upload a file to Google Drive and email that directly from your Google Drive. So you can do attachments in email up to, get this, 10 gigs. That's crazy, 10 gigabytes. I'm actually really excited because I've never been able to send things via email. And there are just some times where, you know, I really want to send something. You know, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a couple songs, or, you know, or something, but you just can't do it. Well, now you can. So I'm really excited, because I actually will probably consider sending things through Gmail now that they have this feature. You know, I've done you know, digital work and stuff for my mom, because, you know, she asked me, you know, you're good with the computer. I need, you know, this, and this, and I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And I ended up having to, you know, compress it, or, you know, send it in multiple emails and all kinds of crazy, weird things to get this to work, or to get, you know, whatever it is to work. And it's a pain in the butt. I would rather, you know, not have to do that. So that's something that makes me really happy. So now I don't have to worry about it. Yes! Score! Alright, let's see. I need to find more happy slabs. And then let's see, what else do I got on here? Oh yeah. There's some Apple news going around. I guess Chevrolet announced the fact, or that in certain model cars, like they have this new car coming out, something like a Sonic, and then another car that they currently make. I didn't really read it. That's not what I was interested in. But those cars will now have a feature where you can integrate your iPhone into the actual car's system itself. It's made, the electronics in the car are made to work directly with iOS 6 and Siri. So you can, enable Siri directly from your car audio thingy majiggers. I don't know what you would call it. Natively, which is cool. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that. I don't have a... Oh, damn, I forgot to turn these into half slabs. Okay, I gotta make... There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Got it. I don't use an iPhone, so it wouldn't really be something for me. But I know a lot of people do use iPhones, and oh my gosh, so full. I'll get that spider out of here. So that would be probably a big selling feature. I thought it was cool. I personally don't think it's a good idea, especially since it's iPhone specific. So unless you have an iPhone, it's probably not going to work. I would prefer this whole technologization of cars these days is really worrisome, because it sort of adds this throwaway component that we're used to with technology. Like, if you have a cell phone and you have it for a little while and it breaks and you're done with it, you want to just get rid of it, get a different one. You don't really have to worry about it. You can get rid of it and you're totally cool, because you can just get a new one. But if that sort of stuff is integrated into your car, I mean, you can't just this is antiquated technology, I'll just get a new car. That's not how it works. You can't just go out and get a new car just because this thing is no longer a supported technology. So it's sort of something that bothers me, and it's coming in almost every car now. You see cars with cell connectivity and 4G or some nonsense like that. And personally, I would look at that as a bad point for a vehicle that I was buying. Especially since what if Apple stops doing things the way that they do now, and then all of a sudden your car doesn't even work anymore, which is something that Apple would totally do. I mean, they've completely screwed over their users before in the past. They've shown that they have absolutely no problem throwing old users under the bus. So it sort of worries me, but more for the larger implications. So I guess it's not bad, but my question is, why would you want something like that? I guess I could see normal people wanting it, normal technology users. But to me, it just doesn't make sense. And also, Apple related, this other thing that I've got on here. We've all pretty much heard about how lol Apple Maps is, how it's freaking terrible, and it's really, really bad. Well, apparently, right after they made this announcement with Chevy, they fired the guy who was responsible for Apple Maps, the Apple Maps fiasco. So being the sort of cynical person that I am, I was like, I wonder if they did this to make it seem like this whole getting your iPhone integrated into your car would be a good thing. Because if you've ever used Apple Maps, what a nightmare it can be, because it's really, really bad. We used it once because I didn't have a phone on me at the time, and the only phone that we had available was an iPhone, and we got lost so bad because the maps was terrible. So imagine, I mean, you can just imagine stories of people, that have their iPhones integrated into their car and, ended up driving off a cliff or ended up in the wrong city, because, Apple's maps was, wrong. I mean, it happens with normal GPS devices that are actually considered to be pretty good and pretty useful. So it makes me cringe to think what would happen if somebody actually had Apple Maps as their main driving component. Their car was telling them, turn right, and it's like a one-way street or something like that. So it makes me cringe. All right, so I've got actually something cool that I'm going to do up here. So where are there? They are. Got them here. This is something that I was working on. Oh, crap. Okay, I'm going to have to... I do have cobblestone on me. Good. All right, let's go ahead and break this. There we go. I wanted to put an overhang over this area because I thought it would be... pretty cool to have, because it's, when it rains and stuff, like it's actually pretty appropriate that it's raining right now. You don't want the there we go. You don't want the loading area to be inundated with, rain when you're traveling. So I'm going to put a cobblestone wall sort of structure up here, and then I'm going to hang a ceiling from this thing. So I tested it out the way it looked, because I was a little bit unsure of, I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what I wanted to use for the things, because I was originally going to use fence posts, and it turned out not to actually look all that great. So I actually switched it up. So I'm going to be using these cobble fences because they actually work really well for this. So this is not working out well. So I'm actually very happy with this. Yeah, using those parkour skills. Also, I hope you guys are liking the Revenge of the Gods that we've been doing. It was actually kind of frustrating at the beginning to do it, but is this right? Hold on, I gotta... Yes, it is. Okay. I was having a moment there. It was the map was actually really fun. There were a couple points where we got really, really frustrated with how it was going, and some of the jumps were really, really hard. But overall, we would say that we had a really good time doing it. But there we go. We did. But we like, that sort of thing. So we will probably be doing more of them from now on, because it seems like, we enjoyed it, and it seems like you guys are enjoying it too. So, that makes us really happy, because we weren't really sure how it was going to be received. Because it was sort of, other games that we did have never done really well. Like, our least popular videos are my Skyrim videos. Yeah, they didn't do very well at all. So it was a little bit disappointing, but we were like, let's give it a shot. It seems like there are some people who, at least a few people who watch our show regularly who will like it. So we went ahead and gave it a shot, and it seems to have paid off. So I really have been enjoying, watching everyone enjoy it, because it was an experience. It was really the first map that, actually, it's not really the first map. It's actually the first map that we've ever completed. And I think the second episode we said that there was like a road or something like that, and it was made out of gravel, and we were like, oh, don't step on it, because it might be like booby trapped or something like that. So so that was kind of like a dead giveaway that we've played a Vex map at least once. So but yeah, that didn't work out at all. So yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoy it, and keep on enjoying it. I think this is one too high. There we go. That should be good. Yeah, so you can look forward to those. I do want to apologize for what came on or what happened on Monday. We ended up having to post the Revenge of the Gods video early because I had some stuff. It's looking good. Now, how the hell do I get up there? Dirt. Need dirt. And I may have to end up redoing this because these ones look okay on the spacing. These two don't. But that's okay. I can easily change that. I can easily change that, so it's not really all that important. What was I saying? Completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Monday. There were, some very important things that I had to do, and I was so tired by the time I got home, and it didn't even get posted. So I feel really bad because I feel like I kind of let you guys down a little bit by forgetting to have something ready to go. But it seems like nobody complained, so it sort of made me happy. You guys are always good to us, and we really appreciate you always. But there is one thing that I wanted to pose as a question to you guys. We have had some people tell us that streaming on Saturday would be easier / better for them. And I want to see how many people agree with that. So essentially my question is, would it be easier and more convenient for you to come to our streams on Saturday as opposed to Sunday, which is how we're currently doing it? Just let us know in the comments, because if more people, because we did a stream on Saturday because we were going to be busy on Sunday, and we actually had quite a few people join us, and it was more busy than usual. So it just kind of got us thinking that maybe more people would come and it would be more lively if it were on Saturday. So if that's true or not, go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think, and we'll take that into consideration. We may not change. It depends on what you guys say. If more people say that Sunday's better, then we might just stick with Sunday. But I have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of people are gonna like Saturday. Because one of the reasons why we originally mix those together. One of the reasons why we originally did the streams on Sunday is because Cilantro would sometimes stream on Saturdays, and it seemed like he didn't really do it on Sundays. So since we had quite a few people who came to us from Cilantro, we kind of didn't want to step on his toes and steal his people. So that's why, guy. Why? I don't even know why it does that. But so we didn't want to steal his thunder, so to speak. So that's why we chose to do it on Sunday. It's just because we didn't want to cause any trouble or anything like that. So that was the reason why. And then a lot of people have said they've got church, or they watch football on Sundays with their family, or insert X reason here. There's been a couple. So a lot of people said that Saturday would work better. So I'm checking. You guys can't ever say that I don't listen to you, because look at me right now, listening to your complaints. You're a bunch of whiners. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Love you all. But yeah, so we're just gonna finish up this thing right here. I don't know how long this is going. I actually forgot to start my timer again, so I'm not sure how long I've been going for. This could actually end up being a long episode. Who knows? But it seems like you guys don't mind the longer episodes. But let's see. Need something else to talk about. I've sort of run through all my stuff. Let's see. But I know something. So those of you who've been on our live streams, you guys have seen Preox and Travel Dog. Well, Travel Dog has been going through and watching some of our earlier episodes, and has left a few comments, and that kind of, some of the things were like, oh, I don't really remember that episode, because it seems weird to us, because we've been doing this for it doesn't seem like very long, but we do, on average about 3 videos a week. So we've sort of accumulated this, I think this is going to be like episode 61 or so. We've accumulated this backlog of episodes, and we've got, it never really dawned on at least me how much content we've actually produced. It's actually quite a few hours, so it's sort of weird to go back and watch something like episode 5, which we actually did last night. It was really weird. Oh no, I'm out of slabs. I guess I'll just go ahead and break this down, because I don't think I have any smooth stone left. So it was a little weird to go back and watch it, and it's like a window back into time, and we were working on the warehouse, and back for the old jungle house, and it was weird because I guess I had forgotten, or something happened to the recording and it didn't get recorded, so we had to re-record the episode. And Garen made a comment. He's like, "Oh, we don't know what that's like anymore," which is totally a sarcastic comment, because it has happened, and it's the absolute worst thing in the world when it seems like it always happens on our best episodes. Like when I do just a killer smashing job, I'll realize that the mic is muted or something like that, and it's heartbreaking, because like I said, it always seems to happen with the best episodes. So you're like, damn, that was a good episode, and then it's like, lol, didn't record. It's like, no. But it's just weird to go back and listen to me talk, and I talk completely differently in that episode than I do in this one. It's kind of before I found my voice, and I say weird things. And one of the things that Giran and I noticed right at the beginning that made us laugh so hard was the fact that when I opened the episode, this actually looks pretty good. Oh, it needs to come out more. It needs to come out at least 2 more blocks. But I actually like the way this looks. This looks really good. Let's look at it from the other side. But when I opened the episode, I said, with KigerCraft with Tigorso, me, and Giran, because I guess the way I was saying it. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. I guess the way I had been saying it, Giran thought it sort of was a little bit confusing as to I guess he says it made it sound like there were 3 people rather than just 2. So I didn't really know what to say, so I was just me. So it was really weird to hear myself say that, and it caused us to laugh really big. So it's just one of those things where it just sort of was surprising, and it made us feel good about ourselves, because we feel like we've actually made progress, and we've improved over time. Which I know we have, but when you do videos, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell that you're making progress, because for you guys, it's you see stuff every so often, whereas us, we're doing this all the time. So oops, that's not right. So changes are more subtle to us, and we're also more conscious of them as well. And sometimes unconscious of them. Wait, does that even make sense? Lol, I don't know. Just by virtue of trying to always improve things and whatnot. I did this step wrong. Darn it. So it's one of those things, but we have lots of fun while doing this. So, and going back and seeing the older stuff gave us quite a riot. So, all right. So I think that looks pretty good. This is not the sort of epic staircase that I was looking for, but maybe I think this works. I think it looks good. I need to do something on this side, and then I think I'm gonna put railings going up, and then maybe line the outside in wood. I think that'll actually look pretty nice. Let's try this with the birch. So just line the outside here in, just like planks, birchwood, or, whatever. There you go. You know what? I actually really like that. I think I'm going to do that. And then maybe we'll change the bricks. Maybe we'll bring the wood pattern down into this area. I don't know. We'll see. This turned out to be a big project, and I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. So we can always see what's going on. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for joining us, and take a look around. Look at that creeper. Let's punch him off just real quick, just because it's going to be funny. And we will see you next time. Take care. Dead.